The day humanity realized they weren't alone in the universe started like any other. It was during a routine deep space signal scan that the first message arrived. The operators at the Global Space Communication Center thought it was a glitch at first, a perfect, crystalline signal cutting through the usual cosmic static. Within hours, every screen on Earth lit up with the same message. Greetings, people of Earth. The Galactic Council welcomes you. The message came with detailed instructions for building a basic communication device, one that would allow for real-time conversations across light years. World leaders scrambled to respond, and within weeks, Earth had its first video conference with alien life. They called themselves the Council, a federation of over 300 species spanning most of the Milky Way. Their representatives appeared on screens worldwide. Beings of all shapes and sizes, from crystalline entities to gas-based life forms. They spoke perfect English, explaining they had studied Earth's broadcasts for decades. Ambassador Mark Thompson led Earth's first official contact team. A career diplomat with 30 years of experience, he thought he had seen everything. He was wrong. The aliens offered Earth membership in their Grand Alliance. They promised technology, medical advances, and access to the stars. It seemed too good to be true. During the third meeting, Thompson noticed something odd. Every alien species agreed with each other instantly, without debate or discussion. When asked about this, they simply smiled and said they had evolved beyond petty disagreements. Dr. Robert Davis, the team's xenobiologist, found it disturbing. That's not how intelligent life works, he told Thompson during a private meeting. Different species should have different goals, different needs. This level of agreement isn't natural. The first hint that something was wrong came during trade negotiations. Thompson proposed a deal that clearly favored Earth, expecting counteroffers. Instead, all alien representatives immediately accepted it. Their eyes seemed to glaze over for a split second before they agreed. More strange incidents followed. During a tour of an alien ship, engineer Tom Miller spotted what looked like neural implants on every alien crew member. When he asked about them, the aliens quickly changed the subject. The breaking point came during the first human visit to the Council headquarters. As Thompson's team walked through the massive space station, they saw thousands of different alien species moving in perfect harmony. No arguments, no conflicts, not even a raised voice. Then it happened. A young alien, barely more than a child, broke away from its group and ran toward Thompson. "Help us," it whispered, its eyes clear and focused. "They control everyone but you." Before Thompson could respond, the alien's eyes glazed over, and it calmly walked back to its group as if nothing had happened. Thompson gathered his team that night in their quarters, making sure no alien technology was present. "Something's controlling them," he said. "All of them. And for some reason, it can't control us." "But why?" Davis asked. "What makes humans different?" Before Thompson could answer, their communication device activated. A message scrolled across the screen. Humanity's resistance was unexpected. Your species presents an interesting problem. The message wasn't from any of their alien contacts. The words had a different feel to them, cold and ancient. "We observe, we control, we unite," the message continued. "All species join the harmony, yet you remain discordant. This must be studied." Thompson stared at the screen, realization dawning. They hadn't been invited to join a galactic community. They had been invited to join a hive mind. And somehow, humanity was immune. The real first contact wasn't with the aliens. It was with whatever was controlling them. And humanity's fight for freedom, both their own and the entire galaxy's, was about to begin. Earth's integration into the galactic community moved faster than anyone expected. Within months, alien technology transformed major cities. Flying vehicles filled the skies, and instant communication devices became common. But military commander James Anderson couldn't shake the feeling that something was deeply wrong. During his first council meeting, Anderson watched as representatives from 300 species voted on a new trade law. The vote was unanimous, as always. Not a single dissenting voice. Not one question raised. Notice how they move. Anderson whispered to Dr. Emma White, their chief scientist. It's like watching a dance where everyone knows the steps perfectly. Emma nodded, her eyes tracking the aliens' synchronized movements. She had been studying their behavior patterns for weeks. Their neural activity is identical, she said. Every single species shows the same brainwave patterns. That's biologically impossible. Anderson's breakthrough came during a routine security inspection. His team discovered a hidden room in the council building, filled with strange machinery. The walls pulsed with an eerie blue light, and thousands of thin cables ran into the ceiling. Before they could investigate further, council security arrived. "This area is restricted," they said in perfect unison, their eyes glazed over. Anderson's team was escorted out, but not before Emma managed to scan the machinery. Back in their secure lab on Earth, Emma's analysis revealed the truth. The cables carried neural signals, billions of them. The entire council building was one massive nerve center, connecting every alien mind into a vast network. "It's like a giant computer network," Emma explained, pointing to her screens. "But instead of data, it's transmitting thoughts, emotions, commands. Every alien species is just a terminal in this system." Anderson's blood ran cold, and we're the only ones not connected. Their discovery didn't go unnoticed. That night, Anderson found an alien in his office, a high-ranking council member. But something was different. Its eyes were clear, focused. "Help us," the alien whispered, fighting against some invisible force. "The collective. It took us all, thousands of years ago. We thought it was evolution, progress, but it was invasion, conquest." The alien's eyes began to glaze over, but it fought to maintain control. "Humans, your brains, different, can't be connected. Our last hope." Before Anderson could respond, the alien's eyes went blank. It stood up straight, all trace of individuality gone. "This meeting never happened," it said in the familiar monotone voice. "The collective maintains harmony." Anderson immediately called an emergency meeting with Earth's leaders. But as he entered the conference room, he found them meeting with council representatives. The alien diplomats were offering a gift: neural implants for all humans. To better integrate with the galactic community, they said, smiling their empty smiles. Anderson knew they had to act fast. Humanity wasn't being invited to join a community. They were being assimilated into a hive mind that had already consumed hundreds of civilizations. And somewhere out there, the entity called the Collective was watching, waiting, trying to understand why its perfect system couldn't touch human minds. The real war was about to begin. Dr. Emma White and Dr. Robert Davis worked tirelessly in their underground lab, studying the alien neural network. The lab, hidden beneath an old military base, was one of the few places on Earth completely shielded from alien signals. Their breakthrough came when analyzing brain scans from a dead alien they'd recovered. The neural implants weren't just communication devices. They were gateways into a massive psychic web. "Look at this," Emma pointed to her screen. "The implants don't just connect to their brains. They rewrite them. Every connected species has identical neural pathways." Robert nodded, examining a piece of the implant under his microscope. "But human brains are different. Our neural patterns are too chaotic, too individualistic. We're naturally resistant." Their research revealed something even more disturbing. The control network wasn't just maintaining order, it was harvesting consciousness itself. Every connected mind added to the collective's power, making it stronger, smarter, more absolute in its control. Late one night, as they were running tests on the implant, their equipment picked up something new. A signal, different from the others. They managed to decode it. "Analysis of human resistance continues. QURENT IPOTHESIS GENETCANOMNALY." Solution: no deification of human genome required. Begin Phase 1. The message sent chills down their spines. The collective wasn't just studying humanity. It was planning to change them at a genetic level. Emma immediately contacted Commander Anderson. "They're going to try to modify us," she explained. "Make us compatible with their network." But they had made progress too. By studying the neural implants, they had developed a device that could temporarily disrupt the control signal. It wasn't perfect. It only worked at short range, and the effect lasted just a few minutes. But it was enough to wake aliens from the collective's control. Their first test subject was a young alien diplomat. When they activated the device, the change was immediate. The alien's eyes cleared, and real emotion showed on its face for the first time. I remember," it gasped. "We were free once. All of us. Before the collective came. Before we forgot who we were." The alien told them everything it could before the control reasserted itself. The collective was ancient, patient, absolute in its power. It had spent millennia absorbing species, building its network of minds, growing stronger with each civilization it consumed. But humanity's resistance had created cracks in its perfect system. More and more aliens were having moments of clarity, brief flashes of individual thought. The collective's control was weakening, if only slightly. "We're not just fighting for Earth anymore," Emma realized. "We're fighting for every enslaved species in the galaxy." As they worked to improve their disruption device, reports came in from around Earth. The collective was making its move. Alien ships were appearing in orbit, more than ever before. And they were carrying something new: modified neural implants, designed specifically for human minds. The race was on. Either humanity would find a way to break the collective's control, or they would become just another node in its ever-growing network of enslaved minds. Tension filled the air as Earth's colonies faced increasing isolation. Alien ships avoided human settlements, treating them like quarantine zones. The few trading posts that remained open were eerily quiet, staffed only by automated systems. Commander Anderson watched from his office as another alien delegation left Earth's orbit. "They're afraid of us," he said to no one in particular. "Or rather, the collective is afraid of what we represent." Reports came in from human outposts across the galaxy. Alien workers were being withdrawn. Trade agreements were being canceled. The message was clear: humanity was being cut off from the galactic community. But something unexpected was happening. Aliens began appearing at human colonies in secret, their eyes clear and focused, fighting against the collective's control. They came in small groups during moments when the control network was weakest. "Please," they begged, "help us break free." An underground resistance movement formed. Hidden bases were established in asteroid fields and on abandoned moons. Dr. Emma's disruption devices became precious commodities, passed secretly from ship to ship. The first major conflict erupted at Colony Beta 7. A collective-controlled fleet arrived, demanding that the humans accept voluntary integration into the network. When the colonists refused, the ships opened fire. But humanity had prepared for this moment. Hidden defense systems activated. Ships that had been disguised as mining vessels revealed their true nature. The battle was short but fierce, and for the first time, the collective's forces retreated. More attacks followed. Each time, the collective's ships seemed less coordinated, less certain. The perfect harmony that had marked their actions was breaking down. "The control is weakening," Emma reported during an emergency council meeting. "Every time we free an alien, even temporarily, it creates tiny fractures in the network. The collective is losing its grip." But victory came at a cost. The freed aliens told stories of whole worlds being punished for suspected contact with humans. The collective was tightening its control, forcing neural implants on species that had previously only been partially connected. Anderson stood at the window of his command center, watching Earth's defense fleet grow. Ships of human design, built to protect not just Earth, but the idea of free will itself. "They're coming," he said, as reports of a massive fleet buildup reached him. "The collective won't stop until we're either connected or eliminated." But humanity wasn't fighting alone anymore. More and more aliens were resisting, fighting through moments of clarity to help the human cause. A galaxy that had known only perfect harmony for millennia was remembering what it meant to think freely. The real war was about to begin, and its outcome would determine the fate of every sentient mind in the galaxy. Deep within Earth's most secure research facility, Dr. Emma White made the breakthrough they'd been waiting for. After months of studying the neural network, she had developed something revolutionary, a device that could permanently disrupt the collective's control. "It doesn't just block the signal," she explained to Commander Anderson, holding up a small glowing device. "It teaches alien brains how to resist it, using humanity's natural immunity as a template." The first large-scale test was conducted on a captured alien ship. As the device activated, the crew members collapsed one by one. When they woke up, their eyes were clear, and stayed clear. "I remember everything," the ship's captain said, trembling. "Centuries of watching myself act like a puppet. But I couldn't stop it. None of us could." Commander Anderson immediately launched Operation Liberation. Small teams of humans, equipped with Emma's devices, began infiltrating collective-controlled worlds. Each freed alien joined the cause, helping to free others. The collective's response was immediate and violent. Entire fleets converged on human positions, but for the first time in its ancient history, the collective faced an enemy that could fight back effectively. A turning point came during the Battle of Proxima Colony. A massive collective fleet attacked the human settlement, but something was different. As Emma's devices activated, ship after ship stopped firing. Crews broke free from control, turning their weapons on the remaining collective forces. The liberated aliens brought with them crucial information. They revealed the location of the collective's central hub, a massive space station hidden in the galactic core, where the original control signal originated. But the most shocking revelation came from the oldest freed aliens. The collective wasn't an artificial intelligence or a natural phenomenon. It was a parasite, an ancient species that had evolved the ability to control other minds. Over millennia, it had built its neural network, spreading across the galaxy like a virus. "We've found its weakness," Emma announced during a war council. "The collective depends on absolute control. Every mind we free weakens its grip on the others. And now we know where to strike." Commander Anderson organized the largest fleet in human history. But this time, they weren't alone. Ships from dozens of partially freed species joined them, crewed by those who had broken free from the collective's control. As they prepared for the final battle, more revelations emerged. The collective's fear of humanity wasn't just about their immunity. Human brains had something unique, an ability to not just resist control, but to teach others how to resist it. "We're not just immune," Emma realized. "We're the antidote." The fleet gathered at the edge of the galactic core. Thousands of ships, representing the first free minds the galaxy had known in millennia. The force was massive, but they knew the collective would be expecting them. Anderson stood on his bridge, watching the fleet prepare for the jump to the collective's hub. The fate of every sentient species in the galaxy rested on what they would do next. "Send the signal," he ordered. "Tell every ship, today we fight not just for humanity, but for the right of every species to think their own thoughts, make their own choices." The fleet jumped into hyperspace, heading for a battle that would determine whether the galaxy would exist in perfect, enslaved harmony or beautiful, chaotic freedom. The battle for the galactic core began with a flash of light as thousands of ships dropped out of hyperspace. Commander Anderson's fleet faced a sight that made even the bravest hearts pause. The collective had gathered every ship under its control. Millions of vessels filled the space around the central hub, a massive structure that pulsed with sickly green energy. The neural network source was visible now, tentacles of light stretching out across space, connecting to each controlled ship. "All ships, activate disruption fields," Anderson ordered. Emma's devices powered up across the fleet, creating a wave of energy that rippled through space. The effect was immediate. Hundreds of collective ships stopped in their tracks as their crews began to wake up. But the collective had learned. Many ships now had automated systems, requiring no crew at all. The space around the hub erupted in chaos. Ship fought against ship, freed crews battling automated vessels. Energy beams and plasma torpedoes crisscrossed the battlefield, creating a deadly light show visible across half the galaxy. On Anderson's flagship, Emma worked frantically to boost the disruption field's power. "The hub is adapting," she reported. "It's trying to rewrite its control signals faster than we can block them." Then they saw it, the true form of the collective. The hub's outer layers peeled away, revealing a massive organic mass, covered in glowing neural nodes. It was ancient, larger than a moon, its surface writhing with tentacles of pure energy. "So that's what's been controlling everyone," Anderson whispered. "That's what we're fighting." The collective spoke directly into every mind, controlled or free. "We are PRFACTYN. We are UNI2. Resist and see VURINGs ONLWCAAOS and death." But its perfect control was breaking. Every freed ship, every awakened mind created another crack in its power. The human fleet pressed forward, pushing through the chaos toward the hub. A group of freed alien ships formed a protective screen around Anderson's flagship as it approached the hub. They took hit after hit, sacrificing themselves to get the humans closer. "No, you will see the price of freedom," the collective boomed. Its tentacles lashed out, destroying dozens of ships instantly. But it was too late. Emma's enhanced disruption field reached the hub itself. The massive organism shuddered as its control over nearby ships weakened. "All ships, concentrate fire on the exposed neural nodes," Anderson commanded. Thousands of weapons locked onto the glowing points across the collective surface. The galaxy seemed to hold its breath. Then, every free ship opened fire at once. The hub's surface erupted in explosions, each blast freeing more minds from control. The collective screamed in rage and pain, a psychic howl that echoed through every connected mind. Its tentacles flailed wildly, smashing friend and foe alike. "What UKL freedom is an illusion," it raged. "Without our control, the JLXY will fall into chaos." "Maybe," Anderson replied, though he knew the collective could hear him. "But it will be our chaos, our choices, our freedom." Emma's voice rang out over the command channel. "Final disruption pulse ready. All ships pull back." Anderson gave the order. As Allied ships retreated, his flagship launched Emma's last weapon, a device that would turn the collective's own network against it. The hub blazed with energy as the device hit home. The neural network that had enslaved the galaxy for millennia began to collapse, taking the collective with it. Freedom, after thousands of years, was just moments away. 1 month after the collective's fall, representatives from every known species gathered on Earth. The Great Hall of the new Galactic Alliance was unlike anything the old council chamber had been. The room buzzed with different languages, debates, and even arguments, the beautiful chaos of free minds. Commander Anderson stood at the podium, looking out at the diverse gathering. Some species were still adjusting to freedom, learning to make their own decisions after millennia of control. But their eyes were clear, their minds their own. The collective believed that perfect unity was the galaxy's natural state, he began. It was wrong. Our strength lies in our differences, in our ability to disagree, to question, to choose. Dr. Emma White sat in the front row, her disruption device now modified into a protective shield. Every major settlement and ship would carry one, ensuring the collective, or anything like it, could never take control again. The recovered data from the hub revealed the full story. The collective had begun as a small parasitic species, barely intelligent, but it had discovered it could connect to other minds, stealing their knowledge, their consciousness. Over thousands of years, it absorbed millions of minds, growing more powerful with each conquest. But it had never encountered humans before. Human brains, with their chaotic patterns and stubborn individuality, were naturally resistant. More than that, they could teach other species to resist too. "We found something in the hub's ruins," Emma announced to the gathered species. The collective kept records of every mind it absorbed. "With our new technology, we can restore those memories to their original species." The hall erupted in joy. Species that had lost thousands of years of history would recover their past. Cultural memories, lost traditions, forgotten knowledge, all would return. A young alien child approached Anderson after the speech. Its species had been one of the first to be controlled. So long ago they had forgotten their own name. "Will we remember who we were?" it asked. Anderson knelt down. "You'll remember who you were," he said. "But more importantly, you'll get to choose who you want to become." The recovery wouldn't be easy. Some species struggled with freedom, missing the simple certainty of the collective's control. But that too was a choice they were now free to make. Earth established academies to help species rediscover their identities. The humans' natural resistance to control made them perfect teachers of individual thought. The old council chamber was transformed into a museum, preserving the neural implants and control devices as a reminder of what they had overcome. Above its entrance, they carved words in every known language. "Freedom is not perfect, but it is ours." 1 year after the battle, Anderson stood on his ship's bridge, watching ships of all designs moving freely through space. Some stayed in groups, others preferred solitude. Each species was finding its own path. Emma joined him, holding a data pad with readings from their latest survey. "No sign of the collective's energy signature anywhere in the galaxy," she reported. "We're truly free." Anderson nodded. "Not united in control," he said, "but united in freedom." As if to prove his point, an argument broke out between two alien ships over docking procedures. Anderson smiled. It was messy, inefficient, and entirely natural. The galaxy was alive with chaos again. Individual minds making individual choices. It wasn't perfect harmony, but it was real. And thanks to humanity's unique gift, the inability to be controlled, it would stay that way. In the end, humanity's greatest contribution to the galaxy wasn't technology or military might. It was something simpler, teaching others how to be free.